Hi, this is Jess Mahler, and this is my video for Module 4, Collaborative Tools, and I will be discussing Goose Chase EDU. Goose Chase EDU is a digital scavenger hunt, and it focuses on character and SEL, critical thinking, and communication and collaboration skills. So, Goose Chase is a digital scavenger hunt where students have to complete missions to get their scavenger hunt clues. These clues come in three types. They can do a photo or video submission, a text entry, or a location based entry. These games are able to be created by teachers, as well as there's a lot of games on the Goose Chase library, which were created by other educators. So I played around with it this week, and I found a lot of different scavenger hunts that I can use for my English and reading classes. So I'm definitely going to try to incorporate that because I think this would be a really fun activity for students to do in my classroom. Some of the really cool features that I thought were helpful for teachers is that teachers are able to monitor activity while students are completing this digital scavenger hunt. Teachers can see every single thing that they're doing through the Goose Chase website. So it's really good to be able to keep track of students and assist them when needed. They're also able to send messages to students. So if they notice they are stuck on something or if they're not understanding something, the teacher is able to reach out and send a message to the student to help them. If the teacher notices that a student is submitting inappropriate things or answers that don't quite meet the expectations, they are able to remove those submissions and have the student try again. And last, teachers are able to award bonus points to students for going above and beyond. I think it's really great that they built in this feature. So in addition to, getting the points for completing the mission, they also are able to get some bonus points depending on the teacher's discretion. And they can award bonus points for anything. It can be a funny answer. It can be, they're working really hard and you see that they've kept trying and this is maybe their third or fourth submission, but they finally did it. So that would be another great time to award the bonus points for. So Goose Chase is mainly focused on the website. So teachers will use the goosechase.com/edu website. It is free to sign up and create an account. It took like maybe 30 seconds for me to make one. And for students to complete the digital scavenger hunt, they will just need the app, which they can download from iOS or Android, depending on your classroom device. Now, I will say, going into the costs here, it is best for students to be paired up on teams to complete this. However, there are other pricing options where students can complete this individually. However, because it is a collaborative tool, I think it's very important for students to work together as teams. So the free version includes 5 teams that have one active game at a time. And on the website, it said that this is sufficient for many teachers. It's only if you really have like huge groups or if you're trying to do something specific that they recommend to use the paid option. So the Educator Plus plan is $49 per year, and this allows up to 10 teams with 5 devices each and an unlimited number of active games occurring at once and individual games for up to 40 students. So again, this is not really needed unless you have a huge group or if you have a lot of different things going on at a time. So, for example, the unlimited number of active games, that would be something that would be helpful for my classroom since I teach both reading and English. I would not be able to have 2 Goose Chase games going on within the same instructional period. Instead, I would have to wait for one to finish before I was able to do it with my other class. So, that's one way that I can see myself using the paid version. But again, I think the free version is best for most teachers. The last one is the Educator Premium Plan, and this is $199 per year. And that includes everything that was in the Educator Plus plan, but it can also have up to 40 teams or 200 individual participants. There are also other pricing options for school and district wide, but you just have to contact the company. But I think for our purposes, everybody will probably do well with the free version. If you need that extra active games or the increased number of students, maybe you can do the next one up, the $49 Educator Plus plan. But free is for me. So this is a picture of Goose Chase. My school did it for professional development back in 2019, and we had a blast. This was one of the activities. We had to write a letter to a student and then make a hat out of it and take a picture. So it was just really funny. It was more to build staff team building activity, but I loved it. I still look back at some of these pictures and videos and the crazy stuff that we did that day. It was a blast, and for professional development, that was probably one of the best days I ever had. So, how this relates to social presence, I went through the chapter and I looked at the collaborative outcomes. And I think honestly, Goose Chase can kind of fit into any of these depending on what you are trying to do. The shared resources, they are working collaboratively to accomplish the mission. Brainstorming, students are able to put their ideas either in text, video, or picture format. Goose Chase also has a really nice reflection aspect where teachers are able to share answers that other students have submitted. So I think it's important for at the end of the activity that teachers do share out that information so that students can be, recognized for their hard work and that students can also see others' thoughts. And I think this helps build a classroom community so that students can see how others learn. Outreach and authentic learning experience, problem solving, product development, immersive and quest based learning. These are all based on the specific topic that you are trying to have the students learn. So, again, depending what it is, they might be doing different problem solving activities, or they might be working together to develop a product in the end, develop a video to show their classmates. The last one is demonstrate mastery. I feel like we can use this as a good formative assessment tool to see if students are understanding the concepts that we're trying to teach them. And then I went to the article and I reviewed the social presence model in the 5 areas. So, for effective association, it's the motivation to take an active role in their learning process. I think with Goose Chase, it's really exciting and fun that students really do want to get engaged because it is seen as more of a game instead of like classwork. The next one is community cohesion, which creates emotional connectedness between participants and between students working together, making videos, collaborating, trying to solve problems. I think this does create a good community, and this Goose Chase program is good with developing the relationships between students as well. The instructor involvement, I bolded this one because in the article, this was the most important one that the students and teachers reported on. So, what this means is that the instructor is invested in the learning community and they're an active partner. Goose Chase does this because the teacher is able to monitor the lesson and provide feedback in real time. So, if the instructor notices that the student is not understanding, they can send them a quick message and get them back on track. For interaction intensity, this is the level of interaction among participants. Since this is a group project, they are working together, so there's going to be a high level of interaction between students. And the last one, knowledge and experience. And this is where students share their prior knowledge and experiences. For Goose Chase, students can bring whatever thoughts and feelings, strengths, weaknesses. I can see myself using Goose Chase in my classroom For vocabulary instruction, I am an English and a reading teacher. So, in both of those classes, we do lots and lots of vocabulary. And more specifically, I can see myself using this as a formative assessment tool to see that my students are understanding the concepts and the words that I'm trying to teach them. So I thought of some like just quick ideas of like the missions that I can have my students complete. So I can have them act out, record a video of what it would look like if they either were that vocabulary word or if they were doing that vocabulary word. Um, for the explain part, again, I'll have them record themselves making a video and they can just tell me the definition. For the text response, they can use that vocabulary word in a sentence. And for the photo response, they can take a picture of an example of the vocabulary word. So I think this would be a fun way for my students to learn vocabulary. I can definitely incorporate this because this is something that they can do at home asynchronously. They don't necessarily have to be in class in front of me doing it. I can assign this as a homework assignment and they can do this, asynchronously at home, complete their vocab, however, whichever missions they choose. And then I can use that as a formative assessment tool to see if they understood the definitions of the words. Overall, I think Goose Chase is really cool. And I highly recommend looking into it. As I mentioned earlier, I did it for professional development a couple years ago, and it was a blast. It was like one of the best days we had. So I think just for the fun aspect, it's definitely worth looking into. And it is very flexible. You can adapt it to pretty much anything. And there is a really big library of games already created. So chances are you'll probably find something that you can use and you won't even have to go through the effort of creating something from scratch. Although it is very easy to create and it walks you through every single step of the process.